I was alone in the kitchen when I heard it. A voice. Low. Raspy. Coming from the calabash I used to fetch water. It said, "Don't go to the market tomorrow. My name is Mama Ijeoma. I'm a widow. I live in a small village not too far from the river. Life here is quiet. Nothing strange ever happens. Or so I thought. One evening, I was in my kitchen, making pap. My calabash sat near the wall, empty and dry. I hadn't used it all day. Then I heard the voice. I froze. The fire was crackling. The crickets were singing. But under all that noise, that voice. Don't go to the market tomorrow. I turned around slowly. The calabash hadn't moved. There was no one else in the room. I thought I was tired. Maybe I was hearing things. I left the kitchen and went to bed. I didn't sleep well. The next morning, I told myself it was a dream. I took the calabash, filled it with gari, and got ready to sell at the market. As I stepped outside, the calabash shook in my hands. It said again, louder this time. If you go to the market, you will not return. I dropped it. It rolled across the floor and stopped by my son's slippers. My heart beat fast. I looked around. There was no one. I left the calabash at home. I stayed back, even though I needed the money badly. That afternoon, people came running into the village. A trailer had fallen on the market road. 2 women I knew were crushed. One of them usually sat beside me at the gari stall. I sat there, shaking. My hands cold. I didn't tell anyone what the calabash said. Not then. But every now and then, when the house is quiet, I hear it whisper. It tells me things. Sometimes, I listen. Sometimes, I wish I didn't. After the accident, I started hearing the calabash more often. It would speak softly at night. Warnings. Names. Secrets. At first, I didn't want to believe it. But it was always right. One night, it said something strange. Beware of the man who walks at night but owns no lantern. I thought about it. In our village, only one man did that, Chief Dyke. He was a big man. Rich. Always wore white. He said it was because it showed he was clean. But people whispered. They said he got his wealth too fast. That strange things happened to anyone who crossed him. 2 days after the warning, a young girl went missing. The calabash whispered again. He took her. Look inside the well. I didn't want to believe it. But I couldn't ignore it. I told my neighbor, Auntie Nkechi. She didn't laugh. She just stared at me. That same man gave me money once, she said. The next day, my son got sick. He never walked again. We told the village council. At first, they didn't believe us. But then 3 others came forward. Stories of missing goats, lost children, women falling sick, all after dealing with Chief Dyke. Finally, we checked the old well behind his compound. Inside, they found the girl's wrapper and bones. The chief tried to run. But the calabash had spoken again. His left leg is weak. He will fall if he runs. He did. Right there, in front of everyone. He tripped on a stone and broke his leg. He was taken away by the elders. Justice. Village style. That night, the calabash was quiet. For the first time, I slept well. But the next morning, it whispered one last thing. Now, it begins. After Chief Dyke was taken, things got quiet in the village. Too quiet. The calabash no longer whispered. I almost missed it. Almost. People came to ask me about it. Some feared me. Others wanted to touch it. A few even offered money to keep it. I told them no. I kept it locked in my kitchen. But then, strange things started happening again. At night, I would hear babies crying outside my window. But no one was there. My goat died suddenly. Chickens went missing. And then one night, I saw it. A shadow. In the corner of my kitchen. The calabash was glowing. Faint red. Like embers in the dark. Then it spoke, not in a whisper, but in a voice that filled the room. The evil is never gone, only past. I fell to my knees. I begged it to stop, to leave me alone. But the calabash began to shake. Violently. I ran. Flames burst from the roof. My kitchen burned like dry wood. The villagers came running. They poured water. They tried to save what they could. But the calabash, it didn't burn. It just sat there in the ash. And then, right before our eyes, it cracked. A loud snap. Smoke poured out. From the smoke came a figure, a tall, faceless shadow. It stood still, watching us. Then it walked into the forest. No one followed it. The calabash turned black. Hollow. Empty. Like it had nothing left inside. We buried it deep in the ground, under the iroko tree, and poured libation over it. The elders said it was too powerful to keep. Too dangerous to leave behind. That's why you don't see such calabashes today. Because the day one speaks again is the day something dark returns.